Welcome to the video. I'll put on the appropriate hat for this video. Just come off Lantern's video, and I thought I'll do a commentary as well, and as we always do. Alright, so we have Fools Gang and GVA chasing down a breakaway here, and look how these guys are motoring, right? It's hard to remember that there's a massive peloton behind these guys, and there's two of them have escaped from the bunch, and they're absolutely motoring. You can tell on the facial expression, you can tell on how the breathing rate in the stomach and the hunching of the shoulders, etc. Fools Gang and Van Avermaet are still evergreen riders, not as evergreen as Valverde, and looks like Riblon there. I think he won that stage in the Alpe d'Huez. Was that the right one? And I'll tell you, this is absolutely motoring. Look at that, Fools Gang on the front. So these guys have been driving that to get across, and just absolutely motoring, trying to get that motorbike for the draft. This is the remaining group of the bunch. This is all about carbohydrates. This is all about sugar and water here at this point. If you're just running if you're running out of any sugar or water at this point in the race, you're going to be like bye-bye, especially on the next climb, which is going to be the final climb, the Korberg. I remember watching Amstel Gold back in 2003 when Vinokurov won. I was actually on the side of the road watching the laps, etc. It was a really interesting vibe to see. All right, so here we have here. That's like GVA again. Was that Gilbert? One of the two. It's hard to tell sometimes. Looks like GVA, a bit smaller. But looking back is so dumb. Like when you look back for your breathing, I mean, for your tactic-wise, it's smart to see what's going on. But for your breathing, when you look back over your shoulder, and you're doing like 800 watts or 400 watts, that just shuts your breathing right off. It's a bit like talking, you know. So it's GVA. So it's a bit like talking. So looking back is the worst thing. Looking back again, it just kills your breathing rate. So what's the point of having high hemoglobin, high sugar, and high water content in your muscles if you're going to be looking back all the time, all right? This is Rodriguez. I remember riding with Rodriguez back in 2003 when he was riding for Amstel. I remember actually eating a packet of dates, and I offered him dates, and he was eating the dates. It was pretty hilarious back in 2003. He even found this Mexican hat on the side of the road. I remember him on South Road, Morphet Vale. He picked up this Mexican hat, started wearing it. He was a bag of tricks back then, and approachable guy back in 2003. Amstel days. Remember Amstel? The yellow and black giant TCR days. Alright, so here we have they've been caught. It looks like is that Fools Gang on the front, still driving it a bit. And look at this, just hesitation. There's Valverde in the blue Movistar kit. Looks like, is that Nibali on the front as well? Looks like Nibali, the riding style. Drops his right shoulder, tilts his head over, and goes for it. That's how you know the pace is on when Nibali's got the shark head tilt going on there. And all these speed humps, you've got to be paying attention at all times. And this is where being at the back of the bunch would be a pretty good draft. But again, you could also miss a move. So you got to take that gamble, but I would say the gamble would be to stay in the bunch and stay protected, conserve the muscle glycogen, maybe be in the top 10, 20 riders, conserve that muscle glycogen. Here we have Gerrans, easy to spot in the yellow and white. Look at his cadence. Look at his cadence in the drops. So everyone's going for it now. Everyone's in the drops, fingers near the brakes, paying attention. Now it's really winding up. Looks like the Orica Green Edge lads are really driving it home. Look at that. Who's in the front there? Is that Simon Clark? Matthews on the Gerrans wheel. Matthews and Gerrans, the famous relationship in the team. A bit of bickering going on there. But look at that. So Jens Voigt impersonation on the front there. So probably doing 500 watts at the end of the race. Just about to run out of carbs. Just about to run out of glycogen. Done for the day. 7k to go. And the pace is on. The pace is definitely on. Just sitting over to the left-hand side of the road. So his teammates can get a draft, but the guys behind not. See, there's an echelon going on there. So the riders are spread up like that. Now look how fast they're going. This is where you wouldn't want compact cranks, all right? Because they're bolstering down this climb here. They're probably doing close to maybe 80k an hour. It looks like they're zooming down here. This is where you have to be willing to die for the win. And Gerrans, with his motocross days, his experience, he wouldn't be too phased at these speeds. He'd be like, this is we're going slow here. This is where you need really no desire, no fear of crashing. All right, so here we have Kowalski in the yellow, so in the white and red, and we have Sanchez on the right going for that attack, launching. That's a big launch. Let's have another watch. Thanks, Lantern, for the slow-mo. We have a launch here, just getting that bottom bracket flexed on that Chinese-made BMC. They're all made in China, by the way. All these bikes in this race made in China, sent to Taiwan for painting and assembly. This is Chinese carbon festival right now. Every single bike in this race. All right, so here we go. Here, this is Sanchez looking back. Now, was this a dummy attack, or did he just absolutely blow? Who knows? Anyway, it set the game up. It initiated it. Gilbert's a bit late to the party. Valverde's up there, so maybe Gilbert was having to get across the wheels. Look, this is where Gerrans is like going for it. But look, he's looking over. He's doing 800 watts. He's looking over, and that's going to kill your breathing. So Gerrans made a big mistake. That cost him the race right there. All he's thinking about, I've got to get away from Valverde. But that's dumb, because now he can't get across. He can't bridge the gap, because he's looking down at himself. He's really in the hurt zone. And and Gilbert's just out the saddle still. So Gilbert didn't really look back on this one as much as Gerrans did. Now Gerrans looked back, and now he's got Valverde, the limper he doesn't want on his wheel. Valverde and Gerrans have a long-time rivalry, Wollonga Hill, podium girl competition. So now Gerrans is in his head thinking about Valverde. And Valverde's thinking about Gerrans. Meanwhile, Filthy Phil up the road is going for it, all right? He's going for it. Look at that gap. And now these guys looking at each other. Look at that. Gerrans is looking at the back wheel of Valverde. Valverde's in no man's land. And these guys are having politics. This is not the time and place for politics. So right now they're looking back at each other. Like Valverde's going to Simon, and you know what I mean? So there's got Vanderbroek in the red and the lotto kit. So he's going to have an advantage here, because he's not looking back at all. He's just like holding the wheel, getting the draft. So this is where all the riders here had sufficient carbohydrate intake, because if you don't, you're going to get dropped before the Korberg. And this is where it's all about the carbs. So everyone's, I would say, is equal glycogen, but the fact that Gerrans looked back, if he just had a little mirror on his bars, like a Cat Eye BM45, people, that's silly, that's the truth. That is absolute truth. Because go and do 800 watt sprint and look back and see what happens to your breathing. And they're doing 800 watt sprint without looking back. So look at them, they're always looking back. They're freewheeling. Vanderbroek, look at that. See, Vanderbroek didn't get caught up in the emotional politics that Gerrans and Valverde did. Vanderbroek's going, I'm getting some UCI points here. So Gilbert's, he's looking back now, so probably can't afford it. Look at the strain, look at that. In the drops, just everything. And now you guys is going to win, he can do it. But look at these guys, look at Valverde and Gerrans still looking at each other. So these guys are pretending that they're in front of the race, but they're not. They're third losers. You know, that's tactics right there. Put a mirror on your bike, take away the emotions, and Valverde's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, look at that. They almost caught Vanderbroek. So there you go. That's the deal. Don't race with emotions in your head that are going to cost you the win. Get a mirror on your bike if you're going to look behind. Otherwise, don't look behind, look forward, and go for it. Done deal.